Hey everybody, Alex here from Beyond Media Productions. Today we're going to be going over a follow-up tutorial to the basic green screening. This one is called matting. Now what we're going to be doing today is adding a matte to this image. Now it looks finished. Here's the thing, we're in Final Cut, and as you know, I like to use things like After Effects or composite, composite from Autodesk or something like that to do my keying, but Final Cut is very useful and it can do some nice chroma keying if you know how to work with it. So we already did the chroma keying. As you can see, she's shot on a green screen, and what we're going to do very quickly is we're going to draw a matte around her because we want to deal with any extra dirt. I would call it green dirt or something. You know, when you're getting a key, you tend to have green pockets and patches that could show up as the video is playing. And this is, although this is not a finished project, it would be something like a daily that we shoot on Monday. The director, producer, or special effects person, special effects supervisor or something would want to see that footage the very next morning. Just about. I mean, everybody's excited, especially when you do a VFX shot on anything, whether even if it's a small commercial, they want to see it because it's the magic, and you need to keep that going. So you need to have a couple of clips done or a little something done the very next day. You know, you want just even if it's a couple of seconds to let them know how it's coming. So here's the deal. We've already gone ahead and keyed it. What we're going to do very quickly is add a garbage matte. So I'm going to double click this and bring it over into our work viewer here. And I'm going to add video filters, right? Go to video filters, come all the way down to mattes. Now you have two choices here. You got a couple of mattes. You got an 8-point garbage matte and a 4-point garbage matte. We're going to cover the matte chokers, matte shapes, and other types of mattes, because there's a couple of different type of mattes. They all do different things. We're going to cover those throughout the course or the tutorials and stuff. But today we're going to concentrate on the 4-point garbage matte. It's just like the 8-point. Okay, imagine 4 points, 8 points. It's almost the same thing. What I mean by that is you have, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 adjustable points that's going to allow us to pull in the picture or cut it off. Basically, it's a way of cropping, just being much more refined. Okay, so if you want to see very quickly, if you turn on an 8-point garbage matte, let's go ahead and shut off the 4-point and go to effects, video filters, matte, and 8-point matte. So now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you see we have 8 points here. So it's roughly doing the same thing as a 4-point garbage matte, only with 8 points. So today we're going to cover the 4-point matte, get rid of that, and just apply this to the 8-point matte. Later, or perhaps I'll make a tutorial on 8-point mattes because they can be a little bit better in getting into tight corners and things like that. Okay. So let's twirl this down and we can look and say we're in preview mode. We got wireframe mode and we got final, which is going to get rid of our point, little points that we can see there. Now, we go back to preview mode. Let's go to point 1. If we click this right here on the arrow, the crosshairs here, and put them where we like, we can see that nothing happened. Why is that? Well, it is actually something happening. If I drag this over to the far right a little bit more, you can see that we're starting to cut into the image. We're starting to crop the image, okay? And that's not what we don't want to do. I'm just doing this to show you that we do have something going on here. You can clearly see from point 4 to point 1 and right through to point 2 that there's cropping going on. We just want to put this just above her head right there so that anything on this side is cropped out. We're going to work our way right around this image. Go to 2. I like to bring them in. And in this case, I make almost a triangle. You know, people are like smaller at the top, and then it kind of works its way down like this, like a triangle. So oddly enough, the 4-point mattes always come out looking like a triangle, unless you have a very weird shaped head. So let's make this a little smaller so we can see this a little bit better. Let's work our way on around. We're going to go to point 3. make sure that you try to drop these points at the bottom underneath the screen, okay? In fact, Final Cut, I think, actually cuts everything off at the tip here, whereas in After Effects, they would actually, the mats would extend below or past the actual frame. But they, I think, stop right at the edge right there. And then let's get number 4 and bring it down like this. And so what we've done, and I'm going to break this out. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so what we've done now is cut all of the dirt that is around this picture away, leaving just this inside portion right here. It's a lot less to deal with. How do we know that we did that? Voila. There's the green screen right there. We've used these points. If I click one, you can see that we've removed most of the green screen. And what does this do? It allows us to save on processing power because you don't have to process all this green part out to the side. And it makes, it just cleans everything up. Finally, before we're done with this, now here's the weird part. Because we have her right at the bottom of the frame, it's a little hard to add a feather here because we kind of eat into it. And as I say, Final Cut mats seem to stop right here at the edge. So feathering, I'm not going to be so concerned with that right now. This mat, she's static. She's not moving. This is a workup just so that we can show a daily the next day. We got more tutorials on what I would call most higher level keying, and in that case, we're going to use a feather. We're going to use a choking and everything else, and every other tool to get our keys and mats right. But there you have it. You have the 1, 2, 3, 4 point garbage mat. You can do the same thing with the 8-point garbage mat. Let's turn back on our chroma layer, and there she is, the lovely Betsy, in a shot with a garbage mat. We don't want to play too much of this because we don't want her to move around, but there she is in all her glory. Okay, and that's it. 4-point garbage mat in Final Cut Pro. Hey, I'm hoping that everyone is going to take some time to visit the website and look at some of the cool stuff that we've got there for visual effects people. And one of our really coolest products is Surround Sound Works. It's a surround sound training. So many cool guys that I know make great film stuff. And they tend to neglect the sound. You know, Hollywood films are all done in surround sound. So we're working on that. It should be out real soon. We had a bunch of done, but we're upgrading it, and so it's due for release real soon. Hope you come back and check that out. Again, this is Alex Murphy at Beyond Media Productions. Thank you so much for hanging out, and we will see you